The Gray Rock Courtroom Takedown. The setup. When I married Marcus, everyone told me I was lucky. He was a successful entrepreneur, charming, and always the center of attention at parties. What they didn't see was what happened when the doors closed. Marcus didn't hit me, he didn't have to. He used something far more effective, his words. "You're so sensitive, can't you take a joke? That's why your father left, because you're exhausting. Without me, you'd be nothing, I made you." By year 3 of our marriage, I barely recognized myself. I'd stopped calling friends, I'd stopped sharing opinions, I'd stopped existing. Then came the divorce papers. The trap. I didn't file, Marcus did. And he didn't just want a divorce, he wanted blood. The documents demanded full custody of our daughter Lily, sole ownership of the house I'd helped renovate, and enough alimony from me to make sure I'd be working until I was 80. His reasoning: I was mentally unstable, withdrawn, and unfit to parent. Classic narcissist move: convince everyone you're the problem while they play the victim. I was devastated. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I'd sit in my lawyer's office staring at the wall while she talked, tears streaming down my face. That's when I met Patricia. The strategy. Patricia was in her 60s, wore oversized glasses, and had defended more high-conflict divorces than anyone in the state. She listened to my story for exactly 12 minutes before pushing a pamphlet across the desk. "Read this," she said, "then we're going to build a strategy around it." The pamphlet was about something called the Gray Rock Method. "You know what narcissists hate most?" Patricia asked. "Attention. They feed on reactions, anger, tears, fear. It's like emotional crack for them, but if you take that away, if you become as boring and unresponsive as an actual gray rock, they starve." I was confused. "So you want me to bore him?" "I want you to starve him." She corrected: "In court, in depositions, in every interaction. You will give him nothing, no anger, no tears, no explanations, just flat, factual, boring answers." "It sounds impossible." "It sounds like your only chance." The Gray Rock. We started small. Marcus would send angry texts and I'd respond with okay or per our agreement. He'd call to yell about visitation and I'd say nothing while he ranted, then ask, "Is there anything else?" in a monotone. It drove him insane. He escalated. He filed emergency motions. He accused me of hiding assets. He claimed I was alienating Lily from him. "Nothing. Okay. I understand. We'll see you in court." Each response was a tiny piece of myself I refused to give him. The hardest part was the depression. Without the drama, without the chaos, I was left alone with the silence. And in that silence, I had to face the woman I'd become, someone who'd shrunk herself so small she barely took up space. Patricia checked on me weekly. "You're doing great, starving, keep going." The courtroom. The day of the final custody hearing arrived. Marcus showed up in a tailored suit, his new girlfriend on his arm for emotional support. He worked the hallway like a politician, shaking hands with the bailiff, complimenting the court reporter. I wore a simple blouse, no makeup, hair pulled back. I sat next to Patricia and reviewed documents. When we entered the courtroom, Marcus's lawyer, a sharp woman named Deborah, immediately launched into a performance. She painted Marcus as the stable parent, the successful businessman, the victim of a cold, distant wife who'd withdrawn from the marriage without explanation. Then it was Patricia's turn to question him. "Patricia, Mr. Blackwell, you described my client as withdrawn during the marriage. Is that correct?" Marcus: "Absolutely. She'd sit there like a statue, no emotion, no conversation. It was like living with a ghost." Patricia: "And when you tried to engage her in conversation, how did you do that?" Marcus: "I'd ask her what was wrong, I'd try to get her to open up, but she'd just say nothing or I'm fine." Patricia: "Did you ever raise your voice during these conversations?" Marcus: "Sometimes, because I was frustrated. You try being married to someone who won't talk to you." Patricia: "Did you ever call her names?" Objection overruled. Marcus: "I might have said things in the heat of the moment. Everyone does." Patricia: "What things?" Marcus: "I don't remember specifically." Patricia pulls out phone records. "Let me help you. On March 15th, you texted my client, 'You're pathetic, no wonder no one loves you.' Does that refresh your recollection?" Marcus: "That was out of context." Patricia, and on June 2nd you texted, I hope you're happy destroying this family, you're sick, you know that, context. Marcus shifted in his seat. Patricia, Mr. Blackwell, you've testified that my client was withdrawn and unemotional, but these texts suggest you were angry that she wasn't reacting. Isn't it true that what you actually wanted was a reaction, any reaction, so you could use it against her? Marcus, that's ridiculous. Patricia, is it? You called her names to get a rise, you provoked her to prove she was unstable, and when she didn't react, you got angrier. Isn't that what happened? Marcus's face reddened. Marcus, you don't know what you're talking about. She's been coached. She's been manipulative this whole time, pretending to be some kind of victim. Patricia, Mr. Blackwell, please just answer the question. Marcus, I am answering. She's the one who she's been playing games. You think I don't see it? Grey Rock, please. It's a manipulation tactic and everyone here can see it. Silence. Marcus had just named the strategy in open court while shouting at a lawyer. The judge looked up from her notes. The meltdown. Judge Morrison, Mr. Blackwell, I need you to lower your voice and address the court respectfully. Marcus, with respect, Your Honor, this whole thing is a setup. She's been pretending to be depressed, pretending to be weak, and now she's got this lawyer. Judge Morrison, Mr. Blackwell, I'm going to ask you to take a moment to compose yourself. Marcus, I'm composed. I'm the only composed person here. She's the one who, look at her, just sitting there, say something, say something. He pointed at me, I looked at him, flat, bored, gray. Marcus, see what I'm dealing with. She's a robot, a cold, unfeeling robot, and you're going to give my daughter to that. His lawyer grabbed his arm, he shook her off. Deborah, his lawyer, Your Honor, may we request a brief recess? Judge Morrison, denied. Mr. Blackwell, you are 30 seconds from a contempt finding. Sit down and be silent. Marcus sat, but his hands shook, his jaw clenched. He glared at me with pure hatred. And I felt nothing. Not because I was a robot, but because for the first time I saw him clearly. Not as this powerful figure who controlled my emotions, just a man, a small, angry man having a tantrum because he couldn't get his way. The verdict. The judge took 3 days to issue her ruling. When we returned to court, I was terrified. Marcus had composed himself. He sat quietly, suit perfectly pressed, looking like the victim of an unfair system. The judge began reading. After reviewing all testimony and evidence, the court finds the following. She ruled that Marcus's claims of my instability were unsupported by evidence and contradicted by his own communications. She noted his escalating behavior during testimony and found that his attempts to provoke reactions from the respondent demonstrate a pattern of emotional manipulation. She granted me full custody of Lily. She ordered Marcus to pay child support based on his actual income, not the reduced amount he'd claimed. And then she added something unexpected. The court further finds that the respondent conducted herself with dignity and restraint throughout these proceedings. Her demonstrated ability to maintain composure under significant provocation is, in fact, evidence of emotional stability, not instability as the petitioner claimed. I didn't cry, I didn't cheer, I just looked at Patricia, who gave me the smallest nod. The aftermath. That was 2 years ago. Lily is thriving, she's in 4th grade now, and she tells me I'm the bravest person she knows. I don't know about that, but I do know she'll never grow up thinking love means shrinking yourself to make someone else feel big. Marcus tried to appeal, he lost. He tried to modify custody, he lost. Eventually he got remarried and moved to another state. I hear he's doing the same things to his new wife that he did to me. That's his pattern to break, not mine. As for me, I still use the Grey Rock method when I have to interact with him, but I don't need it anymore, because somewhere along the way, the Grey Rock became something else. It became a foundation. I started with nothing, no reactions, no emotions, no self. I gave him emptiness because that's all I had left, but emptiness, it turns out, is just space waiting to be filled. I filled it with pottery classes, with Friday night movies with Lily, with friends who reappeared when they learned it was safe to love me again, with a small business I started, selling the ceramic pots I make in my home studio. The Grey Rock didn't destroy me. It saved me. And Marcus. He's still out there looking for reactions, feeding on attention, searching for someone who will give him the drama he needs to feel alive. but he'll never get another second of mine. The end.